Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to my farm. I am contemplating what to do with this field. I might have to either it needs plowed and it needs limed. I'm thinking maybe I'm going to just redo it. I got to rent a limer at some point to do my other two fields. So I'm thinking I want one fell swoop. I might need to bite the bullet and get this done. So that's probably what we're going to do on today's episode. So I will be right back. Look at that view. Erlengrot is beautiful in the spring or summer or whatever season it is. Actually, this map I've heard has stunning seasons. I don't have seasons loaded, but I've heard that it's actually quite astounding in summer through winter, so and fall and spring, but we don't have it. I'm looking at this field here. This is the one next door to mine. If you look back that way, my farm's back over here. This is it gets nice and flat in certain areas, and I'm thinking we could probably, well, this isn't really flat, is it?
No, it's not.
Anyway, I was thinking that this would be like a good second field to buy for grass work. The reason why, the one north of us where the fence is, I guess, is it really north? Yeah, it is north of us, is $250,000. This one's only 180 something. So I think it'll come to us a lot, or 125, I think, is what this costs. So it's a much closer amount of money that we can afford. I'd like to expand over to here, and the reason being is because I'd like to be able to do horses and sheep, but also get the silage industry. Like, if we really sell a lot of silage, we'll be making some serious money. Anyway, I took care of the cows. You can see it's a half an hour, 40 minutes later. I got a phone call, talked to my daughter while I fed and watered the cows, and so we had to make a new mix of silage. We did end up using the whole mixer. Kind of disappointed on the cows' production. They really are not making enough milk for me to be happy. We may, after the next harvest, buy a couple more cows. I really want them to be producing. Seems like they're making about 2,500 gallons a day, which isn't enough. I want more. I want them to be producing like 5,000 to 10,000 a day. So we really need more cows is really what that boils down to. And, of course, I was stupid when I bought this farm. I thought it would be a cute idea to have 4 of each type, or 5 of each type, but that was a dumb idea because they're taking forever to reproduce. You really need to have all of the same kind. But anyway, lesson learned. All right, so let's go ahead and we're going to run down and pick up the Rigitrack and get a Culti Plow. And then we will seed those fields. We're going to plow, and then we're going to rent a lime spreader and spread lime both on this field and also on our field down, our field that needs it down here. So let's head down there, and I will see you in just a moment. All right, we've arrived at our second location, and I'm just going to. Actually, we could probably take that stupid bag and lift and sell it. What we need, I'm going to pull that out, actually. Or do we? We still need it, don't we, to fill? Anyway. What were we doing? That's going to park here for now. Actually, I need to move that because now I think about it, when the Rigitrack comes back, he's going to be grabbing that and taking it up to seed grass. So we'll put our little guy here. There we go. All right, and then we're going to drop these forks right here. And I'll keep the weight on the back for now, but when we get the cultivator, we'll put it on the front. So let's go ahead and down to the shop and pick up. I think the Culti Plow is probably the fastest way to do this. They require a low amount of horsepower, and they both cultivate and plow at the same time. We don't really need them to cultivate, but plowing just takes a long time, and we're just planting grass. I mean, honestly, I don't want to. We're going to pretend like we don't want to put that much money into it because plowing is heavy duty for like corn and stuff. So come on. Such a cool tractor. It's beastly. So I think what we're going to do is after this episode, we're going to go into grow mode. I'm going to go ahead, even when I maybe not on camera, like I'm not going to film every minute of what I'm doing, because you guys have the general idea, and I think for a while we got to get that loan paid off. I'm going to be doing several cycles of crops. I'll keep coming back, obviously. We'll continue episodes and stuff, but I'm going to jump in and out, but I'm going to keep working on the farm off camera also, because we have a lot that needs to get done to get to the point where I want to be. So I think after this episode, we're not going to be doing filming like every single thing. Like, you know, the next thing that's going to happen after we do the liming and stuff is we're going to end up planting wheat on those fields and selling off all the wheat and just keeping rotating crops on those fields. And then, you know, if any major things change, like I'm going to buy a field or something, that's when we'll start the next episode. So, I think for now I'm going to keep running the farm, and we'll just keep financially growing it, getting that loan paid off, and I'll come back to you. Obviously, I love playing and I love recording, so there will be more episodes like within a couple days. I'm just not going to record every minute of it like I've been doing. You've seen pretty much every minute of this farm since I started it, so we're going to change that up a little bit and move over to a more of a, hey, this is what's going on the farm this week type situation. Anyway, I've been having a lot of fun, and hopefully you guys have too. Really enjoying watching the farm grow and enjoying the new equipment and stuff. So let's go ahead and grab a Culti Plow. And this is what, I think, 130. We have 150 horsepower. We're going to be working on a hill. These are both 4. I'm going to grab the one that takes less horsepower. So it's going to be the Kuhn. And we're just going to lease this. Dude, cheap, $500. No, it's nothing. Drop in the bucket. Pardon me. We're going to drop that right there. And pick this up. Now, you could technically run a cultivator behind this, but that would require then like a 200 plus horsepower tractor. So I don't have that, so we're not going to do that. Is there a particular reason why? You don't love me anymore? Well, I've been trying to get down to the heart of the matter. Something happens, and I don't know exactly what it's about. You like your little tiny house? I do want to try to build some tiny house stuff with Sims and then try to live in it and see what happens. Oh, so I got a story for you guys. Did I tell this yet? On this, are you sure I didn't say this in the last recording? I did? I didn't. Okay. So I finally broke down and bought The Sims 4 at an extremely, extremely increased rate. It's great how much I paid for it. Ridiculous amounts of money, because I can't buy it in U.S. dollars. I have to buy it in pounds. So it ended up actually costing me extra. But I bought everything that I wanted, so I spent about 120 pounds or bucks or whatever. And bought, you know, like, and I know it's late in the cycle because, like, you know, Sims 5 is coming out, you know, maybe in the next couple months. I'm a stooge. Anyway, it was worth it. I've had so much fun with that game in the last couple weeks. Like, I don't think I'll ever do. Like, the last time you guys saw me record it, yeah, it's only been a week, but has it only been 3 days? Are you sure? Okay, this isn't working. I'm going to see if I can find where the... Okay, here's where the field is. Okay, so we'll work this little spot here. Anyway, so I've only had it for a couple of days. So I've been having a blast. I've been playing it nonstop. Like, you can ask my wife. She's like, geez, Arthur, like, you addicted. I'm like, I know, it's your fault. Because she's a big Sims player. So, anyway, I'm looking forward to Sims 5 because they're saying that it's possible that it'll be multiplayer, which will be a lot of fun. But anyway, I got the Star Wars pack. I don't know if you guys, you know I'm a huge Star Wars fan, and so I had to buy the Journey to Bantu pack. And I'll tell you what, I built this awesome house in the desert, and I was going to run this guy, make him like a total Star Wars nerd like I am. And, you know, and his job was food critic, right? He started off as a journalist, And I decorated his house. I took them, like, I bought the house empty with no furnishings and furnished it myself. And everything was Star Wars themed. So he had like all these like Star Wars things in the house: the carpeting, the wallpapers, the everything, the sink, the couches, everything was Star Wars, themed, and it looked really cool. And like I had them all. I spent how many? Well, like probably 2 hours with the guy, right? Like customizing him. And I made him like he had like all his outfits were like different Star Wars outfits and stuff. Like he was, when he goes to parties as Boba Fett. And anyway, so right, so then, he's single, so I'm like, well, this guy, we need to get this guy married. Like, it helps a lot when you have more than one sim, because when you have one sim, they have to do everything. When you have two sims, then they help each other out, and just like real life, like the Bible says, one was it a cord by itself or a stick by itself is easily snaps. If you put two cords together, it's much harder to snap them. And then if you put three together, it's almost impossible to break them, And so here's this, theory of like, the more people you have working together, the better they do, and the better things are. It's hard to break a person when they have support, and that's a very true thing in life, And so I'm like, I need to get this guy married. So there were these two girls that would come over all the time, right? And so I would hit on both of them, right? Because I'm like, well, I don't know which one I want to marry, but I'm going to see which one goes better, and so I was like making the moves on both of them, which is the worst way you could possibly do things in life, right? And so this is the best part. So he's a journalist, and his career was getting better, and he turned into a food critic, right? This all happened in the period of like 3 or 4 hours, And then he decided on the one girl, so they got engaged. And so, but then the other girl showed up, and he, and they had an embarrassed moment, the two girls, but he was not in that moment, and so everything was fine, and the engagement went forward, and we were going on a date, and it happened again, but this time he got really embarrassed. Like the other girl showed up, and because there was I guess because they had like a romance rating, so like because they both had romance ratings tied to your guy, it made the Star Wars dude. I called him Biff Darkstar. Or Bandu Darkstar, that was his name. Like super original Star Wars name. And so Bandu got like super embarrassed, right? And then that same night though, while he was at the festival, he learned how to cook this like specialty like Japanese food, right? And he had to eat it with chopsticks. And so anyway, he goes home and he's feeling real embarrassed because he's between these two women once again, and they're not happy. Neither of them are. Well, it's funny. His fiance didn't seem to care. But he was super embarrassed. And so I was like, well, I need to get this moving. Like, he either needs to marry her or, something. Like, we need to make this right so that she, like, ask for forgiveness, whatever. And so, my guy was embarrassed. So I went up to her, and I cooked this meal. Like, I made this new Japanese food that I wanted to, like bring in, like I had reviewed it, and I wanted to try it out and see how I cook it. So I cooked it. And this is the best part. So I went over to apologize to her. And he starts eating the food like while he's apologizing, but he's embarrassed, so you get that embarrassed status. And he choked on the food and died. And I was like, no! All these hours that I spent like building this character, and Simone's like, yeah, I hope you saved. And I was like, oh, shoot. Oh, man. Lesson learned. This is going to be hard. I'm trying to find where the field ends and where it's not. This is why it's kind of going really lame around the outside of the field here. But once we got the field all picked out, I don't want to miss anything. So once we, because it's grass, we do this once and we never have to do it again. So, but we have to get it all while we're here. So I'm just trying to keep it like so that it's all cultivated. We don't have to do this again. Dang it! I think I missed. So anyway, that was my Sims adventure yesterday. I was like, dang it. Like custom building this house, custom designing this character. He dies in like the first like month of life. Star Wars. But that's what I like about the game is that silly randomness, like just those kind of silly things happen and Sims die. But it was kind of shocking. I was like, whoa, he was doing so well. Getting married, careers moving forward. And it was his own dang fault because He was feeling awkward because of the whole having the two girlfriends at the same time thing, and that it's always a bad idea anyway. But yeah, what was it said that where the captain said on the Master and Commander, "Here's to wives and girlfriends. Hopefully they never meet." Horrible, horrible philosophy towards life. But that was my Sims adventure. So the next time I play, I'm just picking one person and just going to stick with that person and not date around. And I found too that you can get to know people in the game without being romantic, so you don't have to like go there necessarily. But I'm mad now because I started a new game, and I guess they brought into with the eco living. There's like an eco pack that I bought that has some cool stuff in it, and they brought in this new thing where people can vote in like different initiatives for your city. Well, I just got into the game and I'm trying to meet a woman, and the game has decided that the neighborhood has decided that they're only going to vote in people they want. Everyone has to wear bags on their heads, so you can't see what anybody looks like. Like I'm like, how am I supposed to pick a mate? I can't even tell what they look like. So that's been the struggle in this playthrough that I've been playing. It's pretty funny. Like I can't even find a wife because I can't even tell what they look like. I'm like, I know looks aren't everything, but it does help to be attracted to somebody, and they all have bags on their heads. So dang it, this is pain. I can see the line up ahead, but that's where I mowed. That's not necessarily the line of the field. So anyway, that's my Sim story. I thought I'd share that with you. My wife was laughing. She's like, I hope you saved. Well, I didn't. Yeah. Pardon me. Gosh, this stupid cough. My allergies. It's that time of year. I almost always get a chest infection this time of year. Oh, and I don't know if you guys saw, but I guess they're saying now, the Times had a report that was you have to pay to read, so I didn't get to read the whole thing. I only got to read the caption. But they're saying that there's a lot more like side effects to COVID than they were realizing. And it looks like people that have had it are suffering from other like stuff. Like there's more to it. Like it's really bad. Like it's not good. So that's scary. Like it's more than just like the cold thing. There's actually more damage it does to you than was first realized. Yeah, but I mean it's even more so. Like they're saying like there's all kinds of like some people have some severe damage to like more than just their lungs and stuff like that. Yeah, it's scary. So stay safe, guys. It is a serious thing, I don't think I've had it. Maybe I have. I don't know. Who knows? Maybe. I don't know if I would survive it. What? I probably wouldn't, yeah. All right. Yeah. So this is the frustrating pass. Once we get past this area, I think we're past the hard part. Because nope, now it's going up there. No, don't hire a worker. Oh my gosh. I can turn my beacon off. I'm not. All right. Oh, what a pain. All right. So anyway, this is what I'm doing now. So I'm going to go ahead and do this for a little bit, and I'll catch up with you momentarily when it was time to do the friggin' liming. This shouldn't take too long. The field is not, I mean, it's a big field, but it's not huge. And we're going to have to do this again when we buy one of the neighboring fields because like all the fields need plowing and liming, which I don't know why Farm Sim does that, but it's like it seems like every field in the game always needs it. Like when you first, at least with their maps. Some of these side maps, like that people program themselves, don't have that going on. But okay, that's not so bad. Look at that. All right, so now we've got the edge cut, and we're going to just work our way around and get this done. Once again, this is the heaviest tractor we have, so well, I think our beacons are still on too, our hazards. So that's what it's going to look like, and you can see here we've cut the field exactly to the edge. And we're going to need to, once we're done, we're going to need to see this. Wow, that is really a 45-degree angle. You can see why I probably should add double tires on this tractor doing this kind of work. In fact, when I go to get the seeder, I may do that because that's actually pretty dangerous. In fact, maybe we should just go do that now. I don't want to. We're going to have to spend a little bit of money, but I don't want to kill the driver. So let's go ahead and put on these tractors. What the purpose on this tractor is to have the double wheels is exactly that, to keep the tractor from tipping over. I know it also, from what I've read from other farmers, it also makes a more stable, comfortable ride for the farmer. And it can also be a little bit easier on the terrain, though the compaction is less. And maybe slightly more traction. I've heard guys say no and yes. There we go. Oh, wow. Barely fits. Look at that thing. That is a beast with all those wheels. And it still steers fairly well because of the twin wheel steering. Or the all-wheel steering anyway. Where were we? Did we go up the top or where? I don't remember where we were. Here it is. There's the spot. Yeah, and so see, that's going to be a lot harder to tip over when we're... Nope, I want this down, not that down. Okay. Oh, that's going to make a mess. All right, guys, so I'm going to go ahead and get this done. I'll see you once I'm finished, and we'll move into getting the limer out. And I'll probably keep these wheels on, and we'll rent the lime machine. We're going to lime this field, and we're also going to lime the other two fields and get those taken care of so that we don't have to do it for a while, because I don't want to keep liming stuff over and over again. So this field will not need any more lime ever, I don't think, because once you lime a grass field, it stays limed. But the other fields will need it every 3 rounds. So, all right, guys, I'll be back. In case you're wondering what I'm doing right here, I'm getting a really cool screenshot because this is really cool. That Ridge-A-Track's a pretty buff tractor. Like, I like that. Look at how cool it looks. Working in the mud. In the hills of Austria. Actually, Switzerland. I mean, I guess Austria kind of looks like this too, doesn't it? But I think Switzerland probably is more beautiful. I don't know. All right, ladies and gents, I'm going to wash this tractor off just to get it all dirty again, but whatever. We need to return our cultivator. I've got the field all finished. Didn't take too long, about a half an hour maybe, to get the whole thing cultivated. Not too bad. We need to seed it. But the next step is to get all the fields limed, and I think I'm going to plant. I think I need to plant the other fields first because I want the cash crops growing because we need to bring in more money up. You know, they seem to bring in about $70,000 to $80,000 a crop, so, or a harvest. So that's not too bad. We'll have that loan paid off in a couple cycles. It shouldn't be too bad. In-game years. There's our nicely cultivated grass field up top. You can see the nice brown turf up there where I've cultivated, and we're going to get the seeder and seed that up. But first, like I said, we need to get a lime spreader and get out onto that field and spread. I'm going to just do, like I said, all the fields. We'll probably do this one first because it's closest. The lime station is right here at this building to our left with the wood fence. The sawmill also has the lime station on board, so. Here's downtown Erlangrot. And I've now learned my way to the dealership handily. I do knock stuff over all the time when oh, there's a down sign. I don't know who did. Somebody knocked that sign down. You see that? I wonder who that could have been. Oops. So let's return this guy and. Tell you what, I bet you the way this tractor turns, if you were going fast and did that in real life, you'd probably give yourself whiplash. Tractor turns pretty dang quick. All right. Wait. Why did I get negative 4,800 new vehicles? What? Okay. Anyway, I think that was from an old thing, but that was for the double tires. Just showed now. Weird. Okay, so we need to extension, yes. There we go. And we're going to lease that. $2,500. That's not too bad. I know. Why don't you get the bigger one? There's a huge one that you can rent. It's more like $3,000 or $4,000 to rent it, but you can see just from the size of this thing, this is plenty big for our tractor. We don't really want to go much larger than that. I'll turn our hazards on so the hazards are on this. And we're going to head back home. And quickly get our field limed. Get the other fields limed, and then we'll start seeding. So wheat on the 2 fields down at our field space, and then grass, obviously, on this field. We want to get that grass growing as soon as possible because we are going to start turning silage and selling it. Silage is $360, I think, a bale, or maybe more, a couple thousand, maybe 1,000 a bale. So it's going to be worth some decent money. We need to get that rolling. It's going to take some work, and eventually we will buy some sort of auto-loading trailer because we're going to have a lot of silage to maneuver and a lot of bales to maneuver. But oh, come on. There we go. This one you really have to get into. And we'll fill it up all the way. I'll be right back. All right, ready to rock. What are you talking to yourself, babe? Then you'll make a good YouTuber. That's what we pardon me, that's what we specialize in. Pardon me. Moi. Pardonnez-moi. Dang it. Stupid cough. All right, so here we are. Climbing the mountain. Climb every mountain. Oh boy, maybe I should have done this downhill. We're going to shut that off. We're going to reverse that and come from the other direction. We'll just, for this area, we're just going to do downhills and then across because that's going to take, I can barely get up to speed with this thing even on flat ground. That's going to, it's expensive to run a seeder at or a lime spreader at 1 mile per hour. You use all your lime up before you get up to the top of the field. This thing just blows through it, so there we go. That's a little bit more like it. Swim every sea. I hate that song. Really? I mean, it's nostalgic because it's in that movie, but maybe it's her voice. Like she's just ear piercing. Great film, though. Man, what a great movie. Just a classic. Oh, man. This is going to take all night. Actually, this will probably take one more pass. Yes. Do you want to get him in? Why don't you get him in? Or don't. So the worst part of the hill is done with now. Okay. And then we'll go back up. It's not like lime is that expensive, but, you know. Ugh. Pull. Putting all 150 horsepower to full use. All right. Let's back out the camera. Look how pretty this is. Oh, like 2 more passes and we'll be done, man. Well, no, I meant on that one section. But on this, the whole field, well, this area is going to take longer because it's wider. But a lot of it's just narrow. Well, this is weird how it goes out like that. It's like, boop. Makes for a little extra work. Well, I asked you. You didn't say anything. It's not 1 o'clock. Is it really? It's 12:53. That's not 1 o'clock. Yeah, you're right. Okay, so you guys know the drill. I'm going to get this done, and we'll go from there. So let me, I'll call you back. We'll call this a short episode because obviously it's just basically going to be liming. So I'm going to go ahead and get these fields planted. You know what we're doing. And we'll get back with you next time. So hopefully you guys enjoyed this video as we were out in the Alps having fun in the sun, getting our fields limed and planted. And I'm going to go ahead and get this finished and get it all sewn back up again. So we will see you next time on Erlengrat. Have a great night. Be sure to subscribe. Thumbs up always help. Love you guys. Bye.